What if the exhaustion you feel isn't coming from your work, your age, or your responsibilities? What if it's not burnout, but pressure? If you've been feeling emotionally drained, mentally heavy, or spiritually distant for no clear reason, this message is for you. Because spiritually aware people around the world are being pushed to the edge silently, methodically, and deliberately, not through violence, not through force, but through constant pressure on the mind, the emotions, and the soul. And most people never realize it's happening. They just wake up tired. They lose motivation. They feel disconnected from meaning. They start doubting themselves. And the system doesn't need to break you. It only needs you exhausted. Before we go any further, I need to tell you something important. This channel isn't entertainment. It's not comfort content. If what you're hearing resonates, if you feel this pressure but couldn't name it, subscribe now and leave a like. Not because it helps the channel, but because what comes next only reaches people who are ready to see clearly. Now, listen carefully. Spiritually aware people don't fit easily into modern systems. They question narratives. They feel when something is off. They sense contradictions before others do. And that awareness makes them inconvenient. The system doesn't fear ignorance. It fears perception. That's why the pressure isn't obvious. It's subtle, constant, psychological, energetic. It begins with overload. Too much information. Too many crises. Too many emotional triggers every single day. News cycles engineered to provoke fear. Social platforms designed to fragment attention. Economic uncertainty, keeping people in survival mode. For most people, this creates distraction. But for spiritually aware individuals, it creates exhaustion. Because they don't just consume information, they feel it. They absorb emotional frequencies, anxiety, anger, despair, even when they try not to. And over time, that absorption drains them. This is where many people make a mistake. They think awareness should feel empowering all the time. They expect clarity to feel light, but awareness without protection becomes exposure, and exposure without grounding becomes fatigue. That's the trap. Spiritually aware people are pushed to the edge not by attack, but by saturation. Every day, subtle pressure accumulates, unresolved tension, unspoken fear, constant background noise. And slowly, the inner world becomes cluttered. This is why many spiritually aware people feel isolated. Not because they are alone, but because their inner experience no longer matches the world around them. They see systems collapsing while others defend them. They feel deception where others see normality. And holding that awareness without support creates internal friction. That friction drains energy. Here's the part few talk about. The system doesn't need to silence spiritually aware people. It only needs to keep them tired enough to stop acting. Tired people don't organize. Tired people don't build. Tired people don't resist. They withdraw. They retreat into themselves. And from the outside, it looks like apathy, but inside, it's quiet burnout. This is why spiritually aware people often feel they're falling behind in life. They're not less capable. They're carrying more unseen weight. They're processing contradictions, lies, and emotional chaos simultaneously. And no system rewards that. In fact, systems punish it. Because awareness disrupts efficiency. It slows blind obedience. It introduces conscience where systems prefer compliance. So, instead of direct suppression, pressure is applied. Deadlines, bills, algorithms, fear narratives. It's not enough to cause rebellion, just enough to cause fatigue. And over time, many spiritually aware people begin to doubt themselves. They ask, why am I so tired when I'm doing everything right? Why do I feel disconnected even when I'm trying to grow? Why does it feel like life keeps pushing back? The answer isn't personal failure. It's environmental pressure. A system designed for extraction, not integration. Extraction of time. Extraction of attention. Extraction of emotional energy. And spiritually aware people feel that extraction more deeply because they're sensitive to imbalance. Here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. The system doesn't care what you believe politically, spiritually, or morally. It only responds to energy flow. If your energy is fragmented, reactive, and depleted, you're predictable. Predictable people are easy to manage. But centered, aware, grounded individuals? They're unpredictable. They don't react on cue. They don't follow emotional scripts. They don't move in crowds. So pressure increases. Subtle discouragement, delayed progress, constant obstacles. Not enough to break you, just enough to slow you down. This is why spiritually aware people often feel like they're swimming upstream. They are, but not against life. Against systems that weren't built for consciousness, but for consumption. And here's the turning point. The moment you realize this, the pressure changes. Because awareness without fear weakens the system's grip. Once you see the pattern, it loses power. You stop internalizing the exhaustion. You stop blaming yourself. You recognize the pressure for what it is, external, engineered, and temporary. This doesn't mean escaping the world. It means engaging differently, protecting your energy, choosing silence over reaction, depth over noise. Spiritually aware people aren't meant to fight the system head-on. They're meant to outgrow it, to move beyond constant emotional engagement, to stop feeding cycles designed to drain them. And this is where many people hesitate, because stepping out of constant reaction feels like disappearance, but it's not. It's recalibration. The system thrives on your attention. It weakens when you reclaim it. It thrives on your emotional spikes. It weakens when you become steady. It thrives on confusion, weakens when you gain clarity. This is why spiritually aware people often feel pressure right before a breakthrough. The closer you get to alignment, the louder the noise becomes, the heavier the resistance feels. Not because you're doing something wrong, because you're doing something right. Now listen carefully to this. You don't need to escape society. You don't need to isolate yourself. You don't need to fight anyone. You only need to stop leaking energy. Act. Stop reacting to every provocation. Stop consuming fear as information. Stop measuring your worth by systems that don't understand depth. When you do this, The pressure doesn't disappear overnight, but it loses control. And slowly, your energy returns. Clarity replaces fatigue. Presence replaces anxiety. Purpose replaces confusion. This is the stage many never reach because they mistake exhaustion for destiny. But it's not. It's a signal. A signal that your awareness has outgrown the environment you're feeding it with. And once you adjust the input, the output changes. This is why spiritually aware people aren't broken. They're overloaded. And overload can be resolved. In the next video, I'll show what happens when spiritually aware people stop feeding this pressure and why the system reacts when they do. If this message resonated, let me know in the comments. When did you first realize something was silently draining your energy? Subscribe, like and share this with someone who feels exhausted but can't explain why. Because awareness shared becomes strength, and strength changes everything.